Chapter 14. Chapter 14. 20 minutes into the drive and Aaron and I finally quit the game of fiddling with each other's pinky fingers and finally clasp our hands together. It makes my whole body fire up and I'm stiff and rigid. The boys are surprisingly quiet, probably because of the earliness of the morning taunting us behind our eyelids. I'm pretty positive that Bentley is passed out in the front seat. Azul and Toby, who sit in the middle of the SUV, both have earbuds in. I can hear the faint voice of Britney Spears coming from Azul's earbuds, and if I strain to look over Toby's shoulder, I can see him watching Grey's Anatomy. So gay, I scoff jokingly and nods my head to the boys in front of Aaron and me. This makes Aaron chuckle softly. I'm sure you have a pretty gay hobby, he says with a playful smirk, a smirk that sends chills down my spine. I play lacrosse and I'm a runner. So gay. I say the last sentence sarcastically and he laughs even more. Those little shorts runners are pretty gay. He comments and I burst out laughing so loudly Bentley turns around and tells me to shut up. This just makes Aaron and I laugh even more. He gives us a dirty look before turning back around, probably to try and fall asleep again. Aaron and I look at each other again, with huge smiles on our faces, and oh God, what a beautiful human he is. We start driving up a hill, no, more like the beautiful mountains you'll see in Virginia. They stretch out towards the sky like they're reaching up with their fingertips. Seeing these mountains in the distance with thick forests surrounding them is breathtaking. The sight itself just makes me feel more alive. I look to my right, behind Aaron, and gasp, we're right along the shoreline. I have to strain to see the rippling waters crashing against the cliff. I gulp, we're going to be jumping into that. Am I in Twilight or am I in Twilight? We drive for about 20 minutes down the shoreline, wherein does in fact begin to lessen in height, but that does not mean my butterflies are at bay. Caleb turns down a side street and parks the car in an open bed of grass encompassed by trees. Toby is first to exit the car. He bounces to the trunk of the car to start pulling out of backpacks and gym bags that we brought lunch, swim bottoms and other assumed necessities for today's adventure. We all follow him and collect our own bags. Mine is a Good Life gym bag, back when I lived in a city big enough for a gym. Caleb walks around with his shoulders set back and squared, leading us through the bush like he's been here before when we know he hasn't. Correction, he walks like he owns the place. It really is an attractive trait about him. He is drenched in masculinity and confidence. The forest doesn't last long, maybe about a yard before it thins and then it's nothing. The smell of the salty ocean hits me almost as hard as the breeze. It rustles my hair and I have to move it out of my eyes in order to fully look around. 6 dead boys, Caleb, Toby, Bentley, Azul, Aaron and I all stand on top of a cliff overlooking the peremptory and unmerciful Atlantic Ocean in all its beauty and power. A strange feeling encompasses my body and I feel like I could fly. I am about to, so I think the feeling is justified. A movement to my right makes me turn to see Aaron peeling off his dark shirt. He catches my eyes as he lifts it, exposing his toned stomach. Oh God! Oh God! I divert my eyes to see the rest of the boys doing the same. I follow their lead and change into my swim trunks. We all keep our eyes down. So, who goes first? Bentley asks after everyone is done. We all look around at each other and Toby steps up before anyone else can speak. Me, he says with undeniable bounce to each step he takes. Not so fast, buddy, Caleb says and puts his hand on the other boy's chest, making him take a few steps back. What is it? Toby asks, practically whining. New guy goes first. Caleb nods his head over to me and my eyes widen instantly. Ah man, don't make the fellow go first. Azul states disapprovingly. He wants to be a dead boy, he jumps. Caleb shoots back and we all realize that there is no way around his word. Okay. I'll do it, I say as I approach the end of the cliff. I look down at the water, it clashes together like clapping hands, a sea of death awaits at the bottom. The wind pulses around me as if it's anxious for me. I move my hair out of my eyes and take a quick breath. I'm about to jump when someone places their hand on my shoulder. It's Bentley. You'll be okay, he tells me, looking up at me. I nod and look behind me to the other boys. They all nod back to me. I turn back around. My heart hammers inside my chest, trying to jump out to safety before I can bring us both down. I jump. Wind whips around me and there's a rushing sound in my ears. My stomach drops like the downhill on a roller coaster. It happens in slow motion, falling, Falling. I hold my breath just in time and I rocket into the ice water. I fall deeper into the water than I expected, and for a second I stay down there. Under the water I open my eyes, all I can see is foggy navy and the coldness nips at my skin like fish, but I feel so alive. I cannot hold my breath long, so before I know it, I'm struggling to get out. I move my arms quickly and wildly, but I break the surface within seconds, gasping and clutching my chest. My heart is beating so fast. Whoa! The boys cheer and pound the air with their fists, screaming. I smile goofily back up at them and fist bump the air as well, screaming just as loud. I feel high, completely got up in my own giddiness. I can't stop smiling. Coming for ya! Toby yells down at me. He disappears for a moment behind the ledge and then comes racing off the cliff. He hollers as he crashes down a few meters away from you. Holy shit, he yells as he comes up moments later. I laugh as one by one more boys jump off the cliff. By no time we're all treading the water in a circle. The smile on all our faces, even Caleb's, is something you could never obtain without experiencing what we just did. Again? Toby asks with shiny eyes and we laugh. 2 hours later, after jumping off the cliff numerous times, Aaron tells us he has another surprise for me. My initial thought is that it's going to be another life-threatening obligation, but he reassures me that is not the case. After gathering our stuff, we retreat into the woods, but instead of waking straight towards Caleb's SUV, he leads us right. How far do we have to walk, Aaron? Bentley asks with a pout. Aaron looks down at him and laughs. It'll be worth it. How long? He insists, which makes Aaron laugh even more. About 30 minutes, he finally says. Bent crosses his arms over his chest but doesn't complain further. I walk next to Azul on the way there. We talk about cross-country and past sports we've played. He reminds me how he used to play soccer a lot back when he lived in Mexico. Apparently, he will possibly be in the next Mexican Olympic teams. No way. Are you serious? I ask him, and he nods proudly. Yes, I am. You see, amigo, I don't come from the greatest part of the country, and all I did all day was play the game. It gave me a meaning, something to strive for. He explains and I nod understandingly. That's insane, I tell him. Congratulations. He runs through his hands through his wet curly hair and gives me a smirk. That's one thing I'll be gratinated you won't beat me at. I'm definitely not gonna challenge you on that one, man. I say, and he snickers. Almost there. Aaron hollers back from the front of the group. Finally. Bentley exclaims and hurries up to walk next to Aaron. Azul and I look at each other excitedly and hurry up the rest of the boys as well. I hear it before I see, the rush of water falling and crushing. The forest ends abruptly and starts with big slacks of rocks. I can see what the noise is now. It's the water cascading down a waterfall. I gasp, it's absolutely breathtaking. Beneath the waterfall is a clear blue spring with steam rising up from it. A waterfall? Oh my god. Toby and Bentley say at the same time. It's supposed to be super warm. I found it while searching for the perfect cliff jumping spot in Virginia and found this place that was only a quick walk away from it. Aaron informs us as he drops his duffel bag to the group and starts walking towards it. Who wants to take a dip? I follow him mindlessly, captivated by him, and he gives me a chilly smile. We jump in at the same time and I almost moan delightfully as my body slips into the spring. It's the perfect temperature. The rest of the boys follow us in and Azul doesn't even hold back his moan, MMMHMMMM. He exclaims before dunking his whole head in the water. Aaron and I look at each other and laugh. His gray eyes look like diamonds reflecting off the clearness of the water. He notices me staring at him, but I don't bother turning away. I have something to show you, he says and takes my hand under the water, tugging in lightly in his direction. I look behind me to check what the other boys are doing, but they are too caught up in their own fun world to notice us inching away and towards the waterfall. We swim slowly to the waterfall and stop before it. Is there another side? I ask and he just nods silently. I close my eyes as we swim into the waterfall. It's not big and we're on the other side quickly. I didn't know what I was expecting on the other side of the waterfall, but I didn't expect the smooth surface of a rocky wall. The water is louder on this side, it echoes against the rocks. There's maybe only about 3 feet between the wall and the waterfall. I turn back to Aaron. He's looking at me intently, like he's trying to see through me. He swims so he's right in front of me, the waterfall crashing behind him. It's a very snug space and he has no choice but to press up almost right against me. I look at him, water drips from his bangs and from his eyelashes and from his bottom lip. "What did you have to show me?" I ask in a whisper. I have no clue why I whispered, but it felt inappropriate to speak loudly in the moment. He doesn't answer me though. I think about asking him but decide against it because he leans his forehead against mine and it's as if he steals my breath as he does it. He slowly pushes me right against the rock wall and leans into me. He does not kiss my lips. No, he softly brushes his lips against the skin in the middle of my neck. A breathy sound releases from my lips as his own start kissing my neck more. It's an erotic sensation and I'm left reaching for air. His right hand is on my waist and it slowly trails up my side, up my chest and to the other side of my neck. He cups the spot behind my neck and my jaw in his right hand as his lips ravish the left side of my neck. He nips at my skin slightly and I use my hands to grab his hips and pull his lower half of his body right against mine. This makes him shudder in delight. He takes his face out of my neck and looks back at my face quickly before crashing his lips against mine. It is not sweet and it is not soft, it is rushed and vivid and it's all the want we've had for each other since that very first day in the woods. His lips are plump and a little chapped and he tastes like the ocean and cedar and I cannot get enough of it. I rub his hips slowly against my own and he groans into my mouth, causing me to utter the same foreign sound as he. We reach and pull at our swim trunks and bite each other's lips. Jesus Christ, what an intoxicating boy.